Even your servant named Van Lee looks beautiful too. No different than a girl. That night, Jack popped out of the system to come in. Notice, let me study some news. And Jack with wonder. I've come up with a way to do research. Return to the palace in peace. The suspect spread the rumor that he was suddenly picked up by a Western guy with a hobby. Makeup after escaping from the lake people. At the same time he will arrange a man to pretend to be a man. West is for comfort. And according to the script, of course you will have to test makeup with the Westerner to get out of his hands. Meanwhile the Wonder was spanked for 7 defeats in the battle with the lake people. That's why I'm temporarily bedridden at home. During the time at home Wonder too. Of course I know that he is very proficient in cosmetics. And of course, to be very happy. Because finally there are people in this world who have the same interests as you. Many days later, makeup contest between nature with the Western guy has been organized. In the presence of all the people. But of course not. The guy Jack said, in the plan is him. And each of them would make up for a girl. Then let the audience score. As soon as the contest started. Of course with Jack. Make up for 2 of their models. While the Wonder says the same Wonder. He was watching them from a distance. After the makeup is done, the judges will let the audience decide which side is nicer. And everyone has chosen the private side. Because the audience is a pre-arranged Wonder. Jack still admits that the level of makeup is still 1 level higher than you. After the competition, people thought he was captured by a Western guy. And that Westerner pressed. You have to enter a contest. She had to wear makeup, so she was able to return to the palace unscathed. Guilty of evading the assigned task. Just returned to the room. Then, I suddenly saw the surrounding as if paused to stop. And Jack has shown up. He's the developer. This game wants to talk to you. Right after that, some experts have slowly come and gone in front of the research, but they suddenly use something to control Jack. In front of her panic. Turns out Team 5 game developers claim that the NPCs, the game is becoming artificial intelligence. And with the intelligence of artificial intelligence, they can be dangerous to the player. So Team 5 decided to eliminate the NPCs. In the game however, of course, the act of eliminating NPCs in the game of Team 5 development is inhuman. Because according to you, the NPCs now have human emotions. And if Team 5 wants to get rid of the NPCs, it's no different than murder. After being personally studied in the face of teaching life, Team 5 must let Jack go. Then leave. Jack thinks they have. Maybe we'll get that other AI to test the game. Change research. And Jack took it to his heart to thank you for saving her life. Of course then have to go make up for the beautiful girl, to perform at the prince's birthday party. And the great prince is a sharp guy. Every birthday has a beautiful girl. Soon everyone gathered at home. The prince's birthday party. But of course I feel him. This great prince has a very mean face. Not like the other brothers. As soon as he entered the party, the prince noticed. Because he was born no different than a girl. And the great prince said, please sit next to him. Let the Wonder try to stop it. Van Lee. As soon as he got closer, the great prince began to grope. That makes the Wonder very angry. So I thought of a plan to save her, without having to make it bigger. And then he ran up and slapped me in the face. The prince didn't understand what was going on. I know that nature is trying to help. So the Wonder goes up, slap him in the face. However the Wonder, he jumped up and punched the suspect, for beating his servant. And the Wonder also fought back. So the Wonder ran into the containment. But I can't stop it. So the Wonder said to jump into battle with you too. 3 princes were called by the queen, to blame for the crime of rebellion. Your brother's Japan. And Wonder was the first to cause trouble. So you were dragged out and hit 20 times. The queen is also in trouble. From nature with the glass that raw. So she pushed again. Then I went to the laundry with her. And then I went to the laundry. By order of the queen. And even though I just wash my clothes all day. But of course still. Make up for more joy in life. Then one day, suddenly I saw her. Or being ripped off by the eunuchs here. Of course, he stood up to protect her. Then threatened that you'd tell the skeptic. Of course I also showed up. The sign that the Wonder gave her to scare the eunuchs Kia. But they don't trust a little girl to do laundry. I am familiar with the prince. But the Wonder appeared soon after. Make the eunuchs kneel down in fear. And after he sent the eunuchs away, he asked, visit the research situation these days. But I saw these 2 people eating too much dog food. Was in a hurry to fall. Soon the Wonder was embraced. Research in the style of Westerners. That you've just learned. But research is too embarrassing. So she pretended to run to work. However, the Wonder remains, according to research. And wash clothes with her. And the Wonder asked him. The manager in this place has to deal with it. It's good with research. So from then on, I was allowed to sleep in the VIP room. Not in the gym with the other slaves. That night, the Wonder said to bring a box of drifting cakes for Cho. Private research with Van Lee. Eat together for fun. And the Wonder tells us that the Wonder, he volunteered to lead the army to punish the lake people. Because he wants to be able to take private research with Van Lee. Get out of the laundry. Meanwhile, the king with the queen of the lake are planning to deal with the prison Wonder. And the queen discovered a painting. The invisible wall in the middle. Land of the lake people with great Han water. But her little NPC, he said. Maybe this is a mistake in the game. The queen has received notice that the Wonder, he's bringing troops from the Han Chinese capital. But you I've come up with a plan to fight the army. The miracle that night. Naturally with the glass. Sat down to eat the box of cookies that the wonder had brought in the afternoon. And then suddenly, let me know that he came from a family in the south, but by parents, forcing her to marry someone she had planned. So he ran away from home, went all the way to the market. They were caught by a trafficker, but you stumbled upon the wonder. I was rescued from human traffickers. So from then on, then you will always follow the miracle, in a very loyal way. In the moment, he was very angry when he learned that the Han dynasty had lost 7 years, at the border into the lake man's hand. And I also discovered the painting. The invisible wall is on the border. Wonder 2. I saw around the picture. There's a lot of carcasses in the walls, and I feel like this place is a little dangerous. So the wonder immediately withdrew his troops. Meanwhile, the wonder is coming to say goodbye to nature, because you've just received orders to send troops to the border, to support the prison wonder. The army had gathered more than 50,000 soldiers. Get ready to help your brother. And Van Lee also wants to contribute a little power to help the prison wonder. I asked to follow the army of wonders. Many days later, he told her that he had come to the border, join forces with the wonder. But the wonder is extremely. I was angry to see her face to this dangerous battlefield. However, Van Lee still clings to the wonder. No matter how you beat me. So in the end, the wonder. You have to give in to the insistence of God. That night the wonder. I helped him clean the wound he had this morning. But that wonder. I still advise. You should go home after the injury has healed. Glad to know that. Food in the army wonder too. Just enough for a few more days. But the wonder says that sooner or later, the government will also bring more. So you don't have to worry about this. Many days later, we packed our bags and said goodbye to the miracle. Then to go back to the capital. But it comes by wonder. I asked him to send a letter to me. And I told you if I haven't seen you in 5 days, go back and find you right away. It's already on its way back. Your house is in the south. And so the family is a family of professional guards. The rice field is filled with grain. So when I want to try to get my family to support me. For the prison wonder. I just got home. Then the servants. In the house, I was surprised to see him. And the one who's most excited to see you again. No one else but your mother. However, the Father of God did not seem pleased. What if I see you again? His son. And Van Lee. I prayed to you with the 2 men at the salary market. Draft for the prison wonder. But the 2 of you don't believe that I know 5 princes. And they even slandered it. Is the lake man's spy. The wrong person locked you up. 5 days later, the lady gave the letter that Van Lee sent at the wonder. Protection for private research. And so much so, new research has found that he returned to his birth parents' house. That night, of course, he called the suspect to see her. Because you're worried about the glass. I'm sure there's something wrong with going back to my old house. So both decided that they would try a trip to Van Ra to find Van Lee. Soon the wonder was galloping Theo, running all night south. And I'm afraid this trip will be a lot of uncertainty. So the wonder also led a lot of soldiers. Meanwhile the wonder, he was very angry when he heard the news. Back home from the wonder. And wonder too. He also decided to go to his house to find him. And the name of the camp with the combat situation here. I have temporarily handed it over to the wonder. He was married to his uncle and uncle, beaten for days, because they suspect you're a Ho Chi Minh spy.